Banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the intergalactic space arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. No! I thought it was mail order bride, not a bribe. Who orders a bribe in the mail? That's just stupid. Welcome to Classic Game Room, where I have a giant Sonic hand on one hand and an enormous pointy finger on the other. Objection! It's time for the review of the Sega Dreamcast VGA Box. No. Are you looking for optimal video performance from your Sega Dreamcast? Are you looking for love? Then look no further than a Sega Dreamcast VGA Box that plugs into the back of your Dreamcast, outputting VGA video. Instead of that crappy old composite video signal or S-video, VGA stands for very good... anytime. Yes. Very good anytime graphics. Here's the Dreamcast VGA Box from RETRO-BIT, even though it says Komodo on it. Connects your Dreamcast to any VGA supporting monitor. This displays your all-time favorites in stunning detail. Does it really now? Let's find out. Most LCD flat screens have a VGA input. Now, it's not digital or even HD necessarily, but in theory it should provide you a far better video signal than composite or even S-video. Many Sega Dreamcast games support VGA, and this box will do that for you. It also outputs standard S-video and composite. There's no power supply or anything required. Plug one end into your Dreamcast and connect the other to a VGA cable that's connected to your monitor. It's just that simple, although don't forget audio, which runs on a separate cable. Do not confuse VGA with HDMI. For my scientific test, I'll be plugging this into the monitor, and it looks like I have to reset the clock again. What year is this? Oh yeah, 2084. Who can forget? The first thing that I did to test this was insert Jojo's Bizarre Adventure for the Dreamcast, and quickly found out this game doesn't support it. But didn't it say it supported VGA cable? I'm not sure what the difference is, but thankfully Quake 3 Arena does work with the VGA box, and it works great. Performance seems pretty good. I haven't detected any lag, but you will need a separate cable for audio that shouldn't cost you too much. So what other games does this work with? Well, good news, most of the ones that I tested. The new Dreamcast releases like Neo Zix, Fast Striker, and Gunlord all work with this thing, so you can enjoy crystal clear graphics and beautiful color saturation. I'd recommend the VGA box if you're using an LCD screen that has an input, but if you're running a huge home theater system with a preamp that takes an analog signal and upconverts it to HDMI, you can do just as well with S-video. I think it's neat to have the VGA box and squeeze just a bit more detail out of the Dreamcast, but don't have any delusions that you're magically going to turn this thing into 1080p. 640 by 480 seems to be the maximum resolution. That being said, it does work well, and I have a Classic Game Room shout out and thank you to send to Mark from Bremen, Germany once again. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for sending the very good Anytime box to Classic Game Room, although it's always a good time when you're playing Dreamcast regardless of what video output you use. Here you are on the map once again. I think the VGA box does bring out more detail in things like the hair and the sharpness of letters on screen. Shenmue and the Typing of the Dead both look better, as does Stormwind, which has a lot of detail, and the VGA box brings it to the forefront. However, the difference between this and S-video is subtle. It's better, yes, but it also costs a couple bucks more. It doesn't work with all the games. It's kind of frustrating because you really can't tell what games it works with beforehand. I've got a lot of games that don't claim to be VGA compatible but actually are, like Virtua Fighter 3 TB. It doesn't say it works with this thing, but it does. It's magic. If you're the type that wants to squeeze the absolute most out of your AV equipment, I'll recommend the VGA box. Otherwise, stick with S-video, which is cheaper and works with everything. Except the Vectrex, because that has its own screen. I'm better at this than I am at the regular House of the Dead. Oh, no! A civilian was killed in ultra clarity.